Welcome back, dear students. In the previous lecture we studied the biological nitrogen fixation that has been carried out by the living organisms or the microorganisms like bacteria, algae. So they can fix the atmospheric nitrogen that is available to the crop plant, so that this plant can able to absorb the nitrogen in the form of nitrates, nitrites and ammonia from the soil through their roots. So in these lectures we also studied the structure of the nitrogenase enzyme and its functioning in the biological nitrogen fixation. So up to this stage we come close to the fact that these living microorganisms like bacteria and blue green algae can fix the atmospheric nitrogen. So here we are going to make the biofertilizers of these microorganisms by inoculating it in a suitable carrier material to get the mass multiplication of the blue green algal mats. So here we are going to study the importance of BGA, that is the blue green algal biofertilizers. So before going for the importance of BGA biofertilizer, so what do you mean by biofertilizer? So this word consists of bio and fertilizers. So fertilizer is any material that can be helped to improve the soil fertility, or that can provide the essential mineral element to the crop plant, that we call it as the fertilizer. Bio, if they contain living organism and can provide the nutrient to the crop plant, these we called as a biofertilizers. So biofertilizers are defined as biologically active products of microbial inoculants of bacteria, algae and fungi separately or in combination, which helps in biological nitrogen fixation for the benefits of plant, that we called as the biofertilizers. So biofertilizers consist of biologically active products of microbial inoculants or biological active products of microorganisms like bacteria, algae and fungi. They can be used separately. We can produce the bacterial biofertilizer, algal biofertilizer, fungal biofertilizer, or in combination with the algae and fungi, in combination with the bacteria and algae, and that helps in biological nitrogen fixation for the benefits of the plants, that we called as the biofertilizer. Once again I repeat the definition. Biofertilizers are defined as biologically active products of microbial inoculants of bacteria, algae and fungi separately or in combination, which helps in biological nitrogen fixation for the benefits of plants, that we call it as the biofertilizer. Now we are going for the BGA biofertilizer. Why there is a need of the BGA biofertilizer? What are the importance of the BGA biofertilizer? So any biofertilizer including BGA is basically soil friendly microbial inoculants that are multiplied in controlled conditions, which enhances crop yield. So biofertilizers were applied to the crop field to increase the yield of the crop. BGA have been found to be an easily available and economically cheap resource material for production and use as biofertilizer. It is easily available, economically cheap resource material for the production and use as biofertilizer. Next thing is the after water, nitrogen is most often the limiting factor for plant growth. Plant require nitrogen as a major nutrient element for its growth and development. The crops needs heavy dose of nitrogen to maximize the yield. To meet such high demand, farmer must either apply inorganic or synthetic chemical fertilizers to their land, or they have to rely on biological nitrogen fixation. So plant requires a large amount of nitrogen for its normal growth and development. The farmers have the intention to increase the yield of the crop. So for this the farmer must either apply inorganic or chemical fertilizers like urea, DAP to their land, or they have to rely on natural biological nitrogen fixation. Adding synthetic fertilizers have negative environmental effect, and also their production is very costly. These fertilizers during their production consume fossil fuel energy, and at the same time many greenhouse gases are released which cause global warming. To avoid all these, use of biofertilizer is must for our farmers. So chemical fertilizers that obviously increase the crop yield, but their production is tedious and energy consuming. It have negative environmental effect, and also their production is also very costly. At the same time, many greenhouse gases are released which can cause global warming. So to avoid all these consequences, use of biofertilizer is necessary and must for our farmers. So this is the another one importance of the BGA biofertilizer. Today, agricultural sector play a significant role in the nation economy of India. It contributes about 174% to the national GDP and provide employment to about 50% of the working population of our country. The non-judicious and enormous or indiscriminate use of chemical fertilizers has critically deteriorated the soils and polluted the groundwater. So this is the impact of the chemical or synthetic fertilizers on the soil and the groundwater. Due to the enormous use of chemical fertilizers, they have deteriorated the soil, destroyed the soil structure and polluted the groundwater. The indiscriminate use of chemical nitrogen fertilizers like urea, DAP, etc. have made the soil more acidic and non-fertile. Hence, at present, the focus of Indian farmers is being shifted to the use of BGA biofertilizers, which are most economical and effective source of nitrogen, not having any harmful effect on soil, flora and fauna. So, the chemical fertilizers like urea, DAP that made the soil more acidic and non-fertile. So, at present, the farmer has to focus on the use of BGA biofertilizers, which are most economical, effective source of nitrogen and not having any harmful effect on beneficial soil, flora and fauna. BGA biofertilizers are having high efficiency of nitrogen supply to crop plants, but at the same time they are very low in cost as compared to the chemical nitrogenous fertilizers. So BGA biofertilizers, because of its high efficiency of nitrogen supply to the crop plant, in addition to this they are very low in cost. So these are beneficial and most economical and effective source of nitrogen to the crop plant. So this is the one of the importance of the BGA biofertilizers. Now we are going for the production technique of BGA biofertilizers. How these BGA biofertilizers has to be produced in our farm, at our cottage industry. So many species of cyanobacteria, that is the blue green algae, have capacity to fix nitrogen by symbiotic and non-symbiotic methods that we seen in the previous lecture also. So they can fix the atmospheric nitrogen symbiotically or non-symbiotically. These blue green algae having a specialized cell, we call it as a heterocyst. So in the heterocyst the nitrogenous enzyme is present, which provide the heterocyst provide anaerobic condition for the nitrogenous enzyme. So in the heterocyst the blue green algae, which are heterocystous, fix the atmospheric nitrogen. In addition to this, some non-symbiotic blue green algae can also fix the nitrogen. So all such species are used in the production of BGA biofertilizers. So which are these blue green algae species? For example, nostoc, anabena, Glyocapsa, Lingvaya, Oscillatoria, Formidium, Plectonema, Cylindrospermum, Gliotrichia, Rihularia, Cytonema, Stygonema, Tolipothrix. So these are the blue green algae which can fix the atmospheric nitrogen. So these blue green algae can be used in the production of BGA biofertilizers. So during the production of BGA biofertilizer, any one blue green algae we can be used, or a mixture of blue green algae we can be used for the production of BGA biofertilizers. Okay, so what is the technique of its production that I am going to discuss here. the first step to begin is obtaining the pure culture of blue-green algae for mass multiplication. So, the application of BGA biofertilizers to the crop plant in the soil, we must have the large amount of biofertilizers. So, this can be obtained by mass multiplication. So, before going for mass multiplication, we have the pure culture of blue-green algae. So, this pure culture of blue-green algae of either nostoc, anabaena or the combination of these blue-green algal species, we can be prepare. Okay. So, how to prepare the pure culture of blue-green algae? About 5 gram of topsoil is taken from a paddy field and added into a 100 ml of Fogg's medium in a flask. So, Fogg's medium is one of the nutrient medium that provides the essential nutrients for the growth and development of the blue-green algae. So, for that we are using the Fogg's nutrient medium. So, to obtain the pure culture of blue-green algae, take a 5 gram of topsoil from the paddy field and added into 100 ml of Fogg's medium in a flask in laboratory. Then the flask is well shaken and incubated at room temperature. The illumination of 1500 lux is provided to the culture to increase the algal growth. These algae are photosynthetic, it requires light. So, it has been illuminated with a light intensity of 1500 lux. So, to increase the algal growth. Further, the algal culture is transferred to 10 ml of water in a test tube. Shake the tube to separate the algal filaments. Okay. Then the content is serially diluted and every dilution drop is inoculated in a Fogg's medium containing petri dish having pH 7. So, the serial dilution we are going to carry out. The serial dilution has been done. Suppose we have the 100 ml of a culture that contain 5 gram of the soil. Okay. Now, from this 100 ml of the culture, take a 10 ml and mix it with a 90 ml of distilled water. Okay. Then from this again take the 10 ml and mix it with a 90 ml of distilled water. So, this is a serial dilution. We are going for a dilution. First we put 5 gram of soil in 100 ml of Fogg's medium. Okay. So, from this flask we have to take 10 ml of the medium and put in 90 ml of distilled water. Okay. Then from the second flask again take 10 ml and put in 90 ml of distilled water. So, this is a serial dilution where the pH of the medium has to be maintained to 7. Obtaining the pure culture. So, here we are going to obtain the pure culture. The culture is to be examined under microscope and finally the pure culture is obtained. So, under the microscope you have to choose those blue-green algae which we are going to inoculate in the BGA biofertilizers. Okay. So, to separate out the blue-green algae by using a microscope and finally pure culture is obtained. Once the pure culture is obtained, then go for mass culture or mass multiplication, which can be done by different methods. So, when we have the pure culture of a particular blue-green algae that I was previously told, that is nostoc, anabaena, Glyocapsa, Lingvaya, Oscillatoria, Formidium, Plectonema, Cylindrospermum, Gliotrichia, Rihularia, Cytonema, Stygonema, Trolipotrix, any one of the blue-green algae or the mixture of these blue-green algae we have to obtain as a pure culture. Then by using a pure culture we go for mass culture. We have to multiply it on a large scale, that is mass culture or mass multiplication. So, the mass culture or mass multiplication that can be done by different methods. So, these methods we are going to study. So, there are 4 methods given for mass multiplication. The first one is a trough method or tank method, pit method, field methods and nursery method. So, these are the various methods that can be used for mass culture or mass multiplication of the blue-green algae. So, mass culture or mass multiplication resulted into to get the large amount of blue-green algae that can be used as BGA biofertilizer. These mass of blue-green algae we can be used directly in the field along with a certain carrier. Okay. Now, one thing is important, Remember, in all methods mentioned above, that is the trough method or tank method, pit method, field method, nursery method, soil is used as a carrier for producing blue-green algal biofertilizers on large scale. So whatever the method that we are going to use, in all the method, soil is used as a carrier for producing blue-green algal biofertilizers on large scale. So how these methods has been worked, we are going to discuss here. The first method is a trough method or tank method. So take a metallic trays or a trough made up of zinc or iron of size 6 inch by 3 inch by 9 inch, which are filled with 10 kg of soil. So here we are going to use the soil as a carrier material. So for that we have to use a metallic tray or a trough made up of zinc or iron having a size 6 inch by 3 inch by 9 inch, and that has been filled with a 10 kg of soil. Now spread 200 gram of superphosphate over it for facilitating the growth of the blue-green algae. Now pour water up to 5 to 10 centimeter height. Calcium carbonate is added to adjust the pH about 7. So we have to maintain the pH 7 by adding calcium carbonate. Spread sawdust over the soil and sprinkle the starter culture or pure culture over the soil. So the pure culture that we obtained in the previous step, now we are going to use here for its mass multiplication. So when we use a tray or a trough that has been filled with a 10 kg of soil containing 200 gram of superphosphate, now we have to pour water up to 5 to 10 centimeter height. Calcium carbonate we added to add for adjusting the pH to 7. Then on which we have to spread sawdust over the soil and then sprinkle the pure culture or the starter culture over the soil. Now keep the trays in sunlight so that algal culture will develop nicely. So these are the photosynthetic blue-green algae. So they can multiply by using the solar energy. They can synthesize their own food material. These are photoautotrophs. So for this, keep the trays in sunlight. Water the trays every day. After the sufficient growth of the blue-green algae occurs, the soil is allowed to dry. So when we get the sufficient amount of blue-green algae, then soil is allowed to dry. Then there is no need to add water in the trays. These dry flakes containing blue-green algae are collected and packed for further use as biofertilizers. Many times permanent cement tanks are used instead of trays to produce BGA biofertilizer. So instead of tray we can also use the cement tank to get the large amount of blue-green algal flakes. So that can be used to produce the BGA biofertilizers. So these dry flakes containing soil and blue-green algal mats are collected and packed for further use as biofertilizer. So this is about the trough method or tank method. We also do it at our home for making a BGA biofertilizer using trough method or tank method. Now the next method is the pit method. Make a shallow pits under sunlight and line them on inner side with a polythene sheet to avoid percolation of water. So pit, it is a shallow tank that we have to made a that has been digging out under sunlight and line them, put a polythene sheet over it to avoid percolation of water. So make a shallow pit under sunlight and line them on inner side with a polythene sheets to avoid percolation of water. Fill the pits with soil up to 20 centimeter and water the pits up to 10 centimeter height. After measuring the pH, carbofuran is added to the pits to avoid infection from soil-borne fungi. So to avoid infection by soil-borne fungi, a fungicide carbofuran is added to the pits. So what we have to do here, we first prepare a shallow pit under sunlight. Then on the inner side of the pit we line a polythene sheet to avoid percolation of water. Now we fill the pit with soil up to 20 centimeter and water the pits up to 10 centimeter height. We add the water to the pit up to 10 centimeter height. Now After measuring the pH, we add the carbofuran to avoid infection from soil-borne fungi. Spray sawdust over the soil in all pits. Now sprinkle the starter culture or pure culture over the soil in pits. The pits are watered to favor the good growth of the blue-green algae. This soil containing BJ is further used for alkalization as biofertilizer in future. Now here the sawdust has been spread over the soil in all pits. Then over to which sprinkle the starter culture. Then the pits are watered to favor the growth of the blue-green algae or to facilitate the growth of the blue-green algae. So after this, the soil containing BGA we can be used as a biofertilizer in use. These pits are allowed to dry after we get a sufficient growth of the blue-green algae. So the algal flakes along with the soil has been collected from the pits, and this can be used directly as a biofertilizer in future. So this is the pit method. So what is the difference between the trough method and the tank method? In the pit method we have to dig out a shallow pit under the sunlight and line them over and on inner side with a polythene sheet. So here in trough method we use the trough or a tank, while in pit method we dug out a shallow pit under sunlight. This is the only difference between these two methods. The third one method is the field method or soil method. So obtain the large amount of biofertilizer, we have to go for field method or soil method. The biofertilizers are prepared in open field of small plots of 40 square meters. That is, we call it as a field method or soil method. The plots are watered up to 15 centimeter height. 20 kg super phosphate is added in each plot. So in trough method we use only 200 gram because of the size is 2 inch by 3 inch by 9 inch. So here we are going for the mass production. So here we use 40 square meters plot for preparation of BGA biofertilizer. So here if you choose the area 40 square meter, then this plot has to be watered up to 15 centimeter height. To this plot add 20 kg super phosphate. After adjusting the pH 7, 240 gram carbofuran is applied in every plot. We know the role of the carbofuran to control the insects and pests. Soil borne fungi has been killed by the fungicide carbofuran. So we use 240 gram of carbofuran. Now starter culture or pure culture or algal culture 5 kg is provided to each plot, and the plots are frequently watered. Now to this plot add 5 kg of pure culture or a starter culture to each plot, and the plots are frequently watered. After 3 to 4 weeks, the blue-green algae is well developed in all plots in clear sunny weather. So it requires 3 to 4 weeks for its growth. So after this, the blue-green algae are well developed in all plots. The soil is allowed to dry, and the dried soil containing blue-green algal inoculants is further used as biofertilizers. So these flakes along with the dried soil has been collected from the plots, and about 30 kg of blue-green algal biofertilizers are harvested from each plot. So each plot get 30 kg of blue-green algal inoculant. So this is about the field method. After harvesting, the well-dried BJ flakes are packed in gunny bags. The bags are stored in cool dry place. These blue-green algal bags can be preserved for 3 years without losing its efficiency. A 10 kg of BJ inoculant is recommended for 1 hectare of flooded rice. So it requires 10 kg of BJ inoculant that we prepared in the method of field method or soil method. Okay, the dried blue-green algal flakes are introduced to the field after 10 days of transplantation of rice seedlings. The application of blue-green algae to crop is known as algalization. It increases the yield up to 34% in rice. So this blue-green algal biofertilizer we prepared in the field method or soil method has been packed in the gunny bags. These bags we can preserve for 3 years without losing its efficiency. So this is the one of the most important advantage of the blue green algar biofertilizer. So for 1 hectare of rice field it requires 10 kg of BGA inoculant. Okay. Now the dried BGA flakes we can introduce to the field after 10 days of transplantation of rice seedlings. Rice field has been inoculated with the dried BGA flakes after 10 days of its transplantation. The BGA application of BGA to crop is known as alganization. It increases the yield up to 34% in rice. The field or soil method for production of BGA biofertilizer were introduced as a package of practices in many states of India. This method is simple, cheaper and easy to adopt by the farmers. One can continuously harvest algal growth from the same area by reflooding the plot and apply superphosphate and pesticide. Addition of algal inoculum is not required. So this field we can be used for making the another lot of BGA biofertilizer by using the same area. Simply we have to add water by reflooding the plot and apply superphosphate and pesticide. There is no need to add algal inoculum because these plots already contain blue green algae. So there is no need of use of algal inoculum or the pure culture or the starter culture to the field or to the plot. So we have to simply reflooding by rewatering the plot and apply superphosphate and pesticide. We can again going to harvest the another batch of the blue green algal flakes. Okay, so this is the field method or soil method. The next method is the nursery method. In these methods, farmers can produce BGA biofertilizers with seedlings of rice in the nursery. If 320 meters square of land is allotted for nursery, an additional 40 meters square along the side of that plot is reserved for BGA biofertilizer. Here we are going to prepare BGA biofertilizers along with the seedlings of the rice in the nursery. So we have to save the time required for making the BGA biofertilizers and also for the growth of the seedlings of rice. We have to prepare BGA biofertilizers along with raising the seedlings of rice in the nursery. So for that, if we are raising the seedlings of rice in the nursery, we have to require 320 meters square of the land. Now in addition to this, an additional 40 meters square along the side of that plot is reserved for BGA biofertilizer. The procedure is same as described above in the field method for the production of BGA biofertilizer. So we have to prepare the plot here on the along its side 40 meters square area we have to reserve for BGA biofertilizer. The procedure is same, means we have to water the area, add to this the starter culture or a blue green algal inoculum or a pure culture in the plot, then watered it, add superphosphate and the pesticide. By the time the rice seedlings are ready for transplantation, about 15 to 20 kg of BGA inoculant is available in the side plot. So the seedlings that has been raised in the nursery bed, along the side of it we have 15 to 20 kg of BGA inoculant along with the rice seedling. It is sufficient to inoculate 15 hectare of field. Thus the farmer have not to invest additional money for the preparation of BGA inoculants. Both the rice seedlings and BGA inoculants are ready side by side in the same plate in the same plot. But this method has not become popular among farmers. Here we have to prepare the BGA biofertilizer along with the seedlings of the rice in the nursery on the same plot. Here is only requirement is that additional 40 meter square area we have to reserve it for BGA biofertilizer along the side of the nursery bed. So when we have to prepare in such way, the method for the production of BGA biofertilizer is same as that has been described in the field method. Okay, we have to water the plot, add the superphosphate, maintain the pH. After maintaining, we have to add the carbofuran as a fungicide to kill the soil borne fungi. The plot is watered regularly and it is allowed, the blue green algae are allowed to grow in the sunlight. Okay, after adding the starter culture or the pure cultures. Okay, so both the rice seedlings and the BGA inoculants are ready side by side in the same place. So this is the nursery method. So these are the methods used for the production of BGA biofertilizer. Now here one thing I have to noted, remember what I am going to remember, in all the methods mentioned about, soil is used as a carrier for producing BGA biofertilizers on large scale. See, in all the methods we use soil as a carrier for producing blue-green algal biofertilizers on large scale. Now there is a demerits for using soil as a carrier material for BGA biofertilizer production. Soil-based inoculum used in all the above four methods has main disadvantages that pure inoculum loading, heavy contamination by the other microorganisms, and a bulky nature of the carrier. So these are the demerits of using soil as a carrier material for BGA biofertilizer production. Pure inoculum loading, heavy contamination because soil contain many other microorganisms, and the bulky nature of the carrier. So because of which the soil as a carrier material for BGA biofertilizer production was found to be disadvantageous. Now what the improvements has to be done instead of using the soil as a carrier material, that I am going to explain here. To avoid the demerits, nowadays improvements has been made for easy and fast production of BGA biofertilizer. So what are these improvements? The selection of suitable carrier, indoor production instead of the production in open area. It is highly suitable and best way for BGA production. Instead of going for open cultivation of the blue-green algae, open mass production of the blue-green algae, we have to go for indoor production. It is highly suitable and best way for BGA production. Third thing, proper mixing of the culture. New carrier materials like paddy straw, carrier material instead of soil, like paddy straw, rice husk, coconut coir, sugarcane waste, and multani mitti are used. So instead of soil as a carrier material, we can use the another new carrier material like paddy straw, rice husk, coconut coir, sugarcane waste, multani mitti. The multani mitti is best and widely used carrier at present for production of BGA biofertilizer. Instead of our field soil or the soil, garden soil, we can use the multani mitti, which is the best and widely used carrier at present for the production of BGA biofertilizers. In this way, the cultures are developed within 6 to 10 days, having shelf life of 2 years. So this is the way by which we have to improve the demerits that has been occur by using soil as a carrier material for BGA biofertilizer production. Now the methods for application of BGA biofertilizers. So the method I am going to explain it in later lecture. Okay, thank you. Stay home, be safe.